Kara wanted to surprise you, but she has to tell her friend that works at West National City Bank. The branch that got robbed?
Right. Right. Yes. I went there. You know, it took me a while to park my car and...
Well, Supergirl is a hero learning on the job. Melissa Benoist plays the DC Comics character Kara Zor-El, Superman's cousin. After 12 years of hiding her true identity, she decides to embrace her superhuman powers and leap into the spotlight. Supergirl opened last week as the season's #1 new series.
That's awesome.
And this morning we are thrilled. We have Melissa Benoist and Mehcad Brooks, who plays James Jimmy Olsen. And congratulations, guys.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
You came off a little show called Glee not long ago, so you've experienced being on a successful show.
Right.
You getting that same vibe on the show? Is it something where you're saying, this thing's taken off?
I think so, yeah. I think all of us kind of had this gut instinct. I knew even when I auditioned that it was something special and important that I wanted to be a part of.
Mehcad, your character, Jimmy Olsen, is now James Olsen. And he's quite the modern man. Yes, he's black. And yes, he's very, you know, he's very chic. He's very urban chic.
Yeah, well, you know, the DNA of James is the same. He's the cub reporter at heart. You know, here's the thing: if you had a best friend that could save the world, I'm sure most of us would act like James, and we would help, right? So. Superman sends James over to help Kara into her foray into superheroics, and it's a really cool role to have. So
we should, so people can get to know you a little more. You were an All-America Texas athlete, basketball, football, baseball. You were accepted, I think, into Yale. Am I correct about that?
Wow.
But you chose USC to study film.
Wow, you have internet stalked me, sir. I feel very uncomfortable here.
Did you feel that stalking?
He tends to do that.
Outside my window, isn't it?
So you wind up locally here at SC. Why did you go the film route when you were a great athlete? You had some opportunity.
You know, I saw a film called The Usual Suspects. And,
Yeah,
I was in high school, and I internet stalked Bryan Singer. I said, "How did you learn how to do this?" And like, I kind of figured it out. And I was like, "Oh, you went to SC? That's what I'll do." And there's not really a better answer. I saw a movie, I liked it. I was like, I want to make films.
Melissa, let's talk about costume options. I mean, there were a few of them. One was the boy shorts looking kind of Supergirl look. Two-piece, right?
Yeah.
And then there was one that was a shorter skirt, and then you kind of chose something that was sort of in between, so a little longer skirt. Why was that?
Well, I think that what our costume designer, Colleen Atwood, did brilliantly was make something practical, really, that you could imagine a woman kicking butt. And, you know, I never understood how Wonder Woman didn't have more wardrobe malfunctions.
Exactly.
And I also love that we did pay homage to that two-piece, but you know, I think we had that one scene where that's where it's going to happen, and that's for the people who wanted to see that. That's the last time it's going to happen. You know,
it's a nice choice.
Supergirl had a little help though, saving those folks in the plane in that pilot episode. Ronnie, can we take a look at this? The news anchor for National City.
Yeah.
Mr. Star, he thought he stole the show.
First of all, that guy's way too good looking to be on the news.
Oh, listen. Mutual admiration.
Oh, look at Lena.
Let's be honest, you could not have saved that plane if you weren't watching the news.
No.
That's true.
It's true, you're right.
It's a very important thing to do.
You let me know I had to save my sister.
The Callista Flockhart's character is your boss in this, and there's a nice little a back and forth between the two of you when you're discussing whether it should be Supergirl or Superwoman. And her line was, I don't know if you remember her line in that, but she talks about it's okay to be a girl.
Yeah.
Because I'm successful.
I'm rich, I'm hot, I'm smart, and your boss.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that moment. I really love that scene, and I'm glad that it stuck out to a lot of people. It's such an important conversation, but also at the same time, what's important about it is that it doesn't matter to be called girl or woman. It's, you know, kind of, it's a good thing to be both.
Yeah. Did either of you like comic books growing up?
I did. I was more of a comic book movie fan.
Me too.
But I think we all were, especially in our generation. It's like, you know, you had the Batmans coming out, like
Michael Keaton as Batman.
Tim Burton doing those, and the Richard Donner Supermans. So like we grew up on that. So like I think our attention span was sort of divided between comic books and comic movies because they were so good at the time. So.
I didn't read the books much as comic books as a kid, more in college. I had a friend who really liked them.
I did a lot of Archie and Batman.
Did you?
A lot of Archie and Batman.
I have to say, I appreciate you've really made nerdy very, very attractive.
Very
on
cool.
the show. Yeah, I don't know if you're hearing that a lot, but you've got the glasses, you're unassuming, you're reluctant in some ways, and it's, well, one of our presidential candidates said hot.
He did.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Isn't that wild?
Is that
That's
from
when
not
you know
trying
you-
to be hot that makes somebody hot, I wonder?
Yes, I don't know.
That's when you know you made it when Jeb Bush is like,
Yeah.
I think she's hot.
You guys, thanks so much for coming by.
Appreciate that.
Thank you very
Thanks
much
a
for
lot.
having
Nice
us.
to meet you.
Thank you guys so much.
Nice to meet you.
You can watch Supergirl Monday nights right here on CBS 2 at 8 p.m. It really is a treat.
Keep watching that news, though. You never know what's going to happen next.
So, might save a plane.